Hello. I just wanted to show off my little tool that I made here. It looks like just a stick, right? Wrong. Wrong. You could be forgiven for being so stupid, but so this is there's a different names for it that I've seen online. I learned how to make this on YouTube, but also through my natural instincts. And you could call it a Digstick. I saw the guy that I sort of learned the multiple uses from this from. He called it a field stick, I think, and he's like a military guy. It's called a field stick when you do it for survival, but it's also just a stick. But and this is basically what I learned on that guy's video, but I'm gonna say it because uh I don't know. I think I should. I think more people need to learn. And what if you don't want to hear it from a military guy? What if you want to hear it from a little goblin guy? And you can't see me, but I am a goblin. Now, for the stick itself, actually, obviously, this is multi-purposed. Obviously, it's a point. But this is multi-purpose. Can dig with it. You can defense with it. And you can basically do anything that needs a pokey thing with a sharp pokey stick. Now it's really nice and thick, and it'll basically, a stick like this is mesquite, so it's a pretty hard wood. It's not the super bestest hardwood. It does split sometimes, but it's pretty hard, so this will do a lot of things. It will not break when you put it in the mud, and even the hard Texas red clay, it won't just break, So, good dig stick, obviously. Now, the other functions are less obvious. The most... There's two other things going on here, and I'm being as long-winded as possible. Now, this is what I would call like a hammer head. It's not a rounded well, but the sort of awkward shape of it also does, it when you put the pressure in a point like that, it hits harder, I think, or something like that about physics. So, and it will round off naturally through use, generally, if you do use it. So you can use this face, or you can use this face. It's just broader. It's got a little divot, so it's like suboptimal, but you can hit it. And then I found that hitting right here, and I was hitting my hatchet, you can see over there, and hitting in the inside curve of a strong stick actually, because it's not a manufactured hammer that's made to be hit, here, I think roughly in here is like the strongest natural point. So it makes for a good hammer of various things. And it's vaguely shaped forward. It's got that vague, like, curve forward. If you hold it like this, it's curved forward. I think that is kind of like a shillelagh. But also, if you hunt, I think a stick like this, now it's obviously lopsided and it's not the best balanced. It's kind of decently balanced for what it is. But I think you can use clubs of this size to hunt birds and stuff. I only learned that recently. I don't hunt, but in a survival situation, something like this that is hard, does have a sharp end and a hard end, it will kill a small animal if you have good aim. So that's also, if you're in a survival situation or something, or you just want to learn how your ancestors lived, you don't necessarily need a bow and arrow, right, to hunt. You can take a life just with a nice little stick. And it would do it. And yeah, this is very hard. It's like a steak, you know, it would work for a vampire. It could be sharper, but it's not for, you know, weaponry alone. It's just for digging primarily. So, anyways, this is a stick that I'm really proud of. I oiled it with linseed oil. I shaped it as I heard the military guy say, you know, sharp on one end, round on the other, and that's a good multi-use tool. Also, another thing that the military guy said on his channel was, on the video where he made a thing like this, was that basically you can make a smaller version of this. Like, really, you can use just like a chunk of wood for a toggle, but I realized that I think you could just use this even as a toggle, right? So if you have a little bit of rope, you can just tie it up and like hang a backpack on it, if you can get it on both ends or whatever, you know, you can. So I want to advocate ways of crafting that are super versatile, super natural, and super disposable. And it's all just about the fun of crafting and making things that, you know, this is just a stick, but I put oil on it and I put time into it, and now I think it's beautiful. I think it has, it's also like, you know, not obviously a great tool to a person with contemporary eyes, but when you look at it, like, it's a fine device. It's just a modified stick, and it has its uses, and it won't last forever, but it's not supposed to. We're supposed to, as humans, as creatures of the earth. No, I used the supposed to loosely. I don't mean this is given down from God or anything, but I just think it's like, you know, the Industrial Revolution, I won't say that it was altogether a mistake, but it was not for everyone. It wasn't made to be for everyone. And, you know, we can be happy about our factories and also realize that, you know, tools of the past, this has a simplicity that is unmatched. Like, this is a tool like this is everywhere. Yeah, it helps if you start with a knife. You're gonna need a knife probably, right? Not necessarily, but, you know, if you want to make something like I do, I use basically modern tools and stuff. And so, but like, the point is this is just a stick with work. Whatever your tools are, you can put in a little bit of work, and unlike a 9 to 5 job, unlike a minimum wage job, the work you put into a stick will matter, right? The work you put into a stick will pay off, because at the end you'll have a stick that's shaped different. That's the kind of things we can count on in our life, not fucking not electricity and stuff, right? We like to count on electricity if we can, but, and so this is just an example of how you can use it. It's not a very good example, and see, there's even some damage from the back of the knife and from the hard floor here. But it's supposed to be like that, you know? Wood is softer than steel. It's just how it is. So, you know. Well, I can't do it because I don't have any hands now, but this is also how you would use it. It is best in combination with a knife, right? It's like a baton. That's one of the many uses of the Digstick. And so, yeah, that's basically That's like, you don't have to do it. You don't even have to put oil on it. You don't have to use a knife. You can make a freaking stick. And guess what? The stick is a tool. The stick is a weapon. And that's beautiful. That should be our religion. Is we don't have to. It's cool to make knives. It's cool to make iron. Primarily, we should be doing things that if they break, it doesn't hurt anybody, you know? Or if we lose them, or if they have a lifespan. It's just an ecocentric way of looking at things. So, we like a basher. We like a fucking basher. And we like sticks. Make one.